Riding on an airplane can either be a great or terrible experience. Well, for this lady, it definitely was not a good one to say the least. During the pre-flight, a lady seems to completely lose it when she feels that a man is looking at her in a weird way. She begins to rage at the man and cuss him out. And remember, this took place in the middle of an airplane with many young children aboard.
Yeah, I know, I consoled the child. There's a little boy right behind.
Thankfully, the man somehow kept his cool, as most people would probably try and fight back after being harassed by a lady for no reason. The flight attendants come over to check on everything, and the lady tries to explain the nonsense that she was angry about. However, these attendees know that she is freaking out over nothing. Eventually, after being harassed for some time, the man decides to step out of his seat and walk away from the action. This was a really good move on his part, that is until the angry lady takes it up a notch and throws her laptop at him. Like, what in the world was this lady thinking? Number 9. According to this man, women should be punished for saying men are 5 feet tall on dating apps. Yep, that's right, dating apps. Well, things definitely went downhill from here, as this 5 foot tall man completely loses himself in the middle of a bagel restaurant after his rant about being teased on dating apps.
Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites? You should be dead? That's okay?
The funny thing, nobody had even started the argument. After his rant, this man decides to take his anger out on every single person waiting in line for a bagel. It's funny to think that all of this took place inside of a bagel shop, but hey, some things get to us. Anyway, the man continues to call multiple people out and even asks another male to go outside with him and throw hands. Well, this was not the best thing to say, as another person picks up on the nonsense and throws this 5 foot man to the ground. He probably should have just accepted the fact he is not tall enough to ride this roller coaster. Number 8. Sometimes we just really want our McDonald's nuggets, right? Well, unfortunately for this lady, she didn't get her lovely chicken nuggets. Not sure what the story was behind the fact that she wasn't able to get her nuggets, but she certainly was not happy about it. So what does she decide to do? Well, she starts off by attacking the McDonald's employees. I mean, I think this would be more understandable if it was about the ice cream machine that's always broken, but these employees had done nothing wrong, and I think they were just out of nuggets. Either way, it's not something to try and fight over. This lady proceeds to call out a specific employee who I guess was responsible for the chicken nugget making. Not sure, but all this takes place as her husband attempts to hold her back and not make a scene in the middle of a McDonald's. Thankfully, nothing escalated, but I'm sure the person behind the counter was ready to throw hands whenever needed. After a slew of cussing, harassing, and nonsense, the lady is escorted out by her husband. This lady clearly just wanted her chicken nuggets, and honestly, I get it. Number 7. Not sure if this was the manager to blame or the customer, but either way, both of them were not in a good mood and really made fools out of themselves at this McDonald's drive-thru. In the clip, the car is pulled up to the drive-thru window as the manager completely goes off on the customer. Unfortunately, the clip did not include what led up to the argument, but as you can see, it appears something very heated took place beforehand. The manager screams at the customers and tells them to get out of his drive-thru. After a long slew of cussing and anger, one of the customers proceeds to get out of the car and go after the manager. Things definitely did not get better here on out. Watching this clip is really funny to see.
Yep, you're getting fired today.
You know what? You can suck my Go.
Lose your job.
So as you all are watching, let us know your opinion. Do you think that customer was to blame, or was it something the manager had done? Either way, it looks like both of them are very rude to each other, unless something very bad led up to the circumstances. Regardless, I don't think either one of them were McLovin' it. Number 5. This is a case of not 1, not 2, but 3 angry ladies. After hearing their credit card was declined, one of these women completely loses it on the cashier at Sears.
My account, and I can show you that you've already taken my money. So you need to give me my cash. And if I end up on YouTube, I will personally
Well,
sue.
I guess she did have somewhat of a reason to be mad, because while she may have been lying, according to the customer, Sears already had charged her account for the items purchased. However, what makes it fishy is that she refuses to show the cashier the charge after apparently having seen it pop up right on her phone. What makes this clip a bit more disturbing, however, is that one of the 3 ladies is carrying a baby who is in the middle of all the action.
If we end up on YouTube, I will sue you.
I'm not putting it on YouTube.
No,
I'm
if
documenting.
it ends up on
Oh, it's going to end up.
Facebook,
It will not
I
go
will
to
sue
Facebook.
you.
Luckily, no hands were thrown, but it was definitely not a good idea to have a baby with you amidst this action. The ladies proceed to yell at the cashiers for laughing at them and scamming them out of their money, but in the end, they were just doing their jobs and making sure the money went through. I feel so bad for the cashiers. Imagine just sitting there being berated, wishing you were working at Wendy's. Number 4. Fast food restaurants are not supposed to be the most luxurious of dining. I mean, considering they're named fast food, junk food, and multiple other nicknames, you can't really expect to get the best food out of these places. However, according to this man, he expected the food to be on spot. And while he does have a point to make because the employees did get his order wrong, he didn't have to lose himself this much, as you guys will see. The customer doesn't take this messed up order lightly and starts yelling at all the employees, asking them to give him the manager's number, the workers' numbers, and all of their information.
Now I want your employee number, I want your employee number, and whoever's working the grill, I want your employee number too, and I want the number to corporate. I want my money back for this burger, and you know what, and I want free fries.
I guess his goal was to sue this Wendy's fast food for getting their order wrong. I'm not sure if there was a better way to go about this since the food is very cheap here. They could have just remade his order for free. Maybe given him a free Frosty on the side? I don't know. But some people just want everything to turn out perfectly, as you will see with this man. According to the customer, Wendy's put cheese on his plain burger, no cheese. So I guess working at Wendy's probably isn't the move then. Number 3. After allegedly being given the wrong order, this customer completely loses it and brings his pizza back to the Domino's store in an angry fit that turned physical. After slamming his pizza on the counter in an attempt to get his money back, the customer proceeds to walk behind the counter and physically grab the employee and even go as far as to put him in a headlock. According to the employee, he refunded the customer all of his money and offered to make him a free pizza for the inconvenience. However, the man wanted more. He demanded $25 extra, as apparently that's how much he tipped the delivery man. Well, the delivery man turned out to be the employee he was having the altercation with, and he doesn't even recall being given the $25 tip.
Give me back my $25. Something about him, he tipped my driver $25. No, not in this town. Trust me, not in this town.
Never in all of his time working at Domino's had this worker ever seen anything quite like this, he stated in a news interview. If that was me, you best believe I would have taken that free pizza and been on my merry way. Number 2. Unlike the previous clip where the customers seem to attack employees, this one is a bit different. In this clip, we see a couple at the counter of Wendy's talking to the employees about a terrible occurrence. According to the grumpy couple, another customer's child had stepped on their feet.
Tell him to go.
And now they're waiting to be waited on.
Relax, it's not the end of the world. The employees are in complete shock and don't really know how to act as, well, you don't see customers come in and complain about being stepped on by a child on accident. After talking to the employees about how the family should be kicked out and all this other nonsense, the mother of the child who stepped on the couple's feet comes over to talk things out. It doesn't get much better here as the mother tries to figure things out and apologizes. Now keep in mind this child is 4 years old and probably didn't know better.
Listen, the parent can't be here with the child and expect the child to give an order and control
Give them my number, please.
Goodbye, I'll go to someplace where kids behave.
These people either don't have kids or never had a normal childhood of being a menace at some point. Number 1. When you purchase something that is faulty, it's not a problem to get a bit upset over it. However, most companies are willing to give you a free refund and replacement for the broken item. Well, I guess this lady wanted more as she completely freaked out in the middle of Best Buy over her broken TV.
I was the first one here. I was hearing. You endangered me. You endangered me. You need to stop selling folks.
The employee, who somehow keeps it somewhat cool, tries to calm the lady down and offers to give her a return in replacement for this mishap. While this wasn't enough for the lady, she begins to throw a fit in the store by whining and throwing items all around. It gets even worse as security has to come in and take the lady away.
I'm not calm. You can't tell somebody who's been like under this kind of duress. You can't tell them if I act really nice and pretty, will they return it? Is that what you're saying? If I act calm and nice and pretty, then everything's going to be okay?
Not only does she really not deserve the refund, but she made a complete clown out of herself in the process. Wait, click here for Black Friday freakouts. It's way worse compared to these.